Hey, what's up guys? This is Anthony from Anthony's Customs, and for this review, we are looking at NECA's latest addition to the Super Shredder collection. This is the throwback bright purple version with the super psychedelic cape, and it's mostly the same shredder as before. We've seen it twice now. It has a few differences, obviously, but you pretty much know what you're getting, so I'm not going to go into like all the details for this review just because I don't want to waste your time. You've already seen it at least once, probably twice at this point, from me and whoever else you're watching. So we're not going to go into all the details, but there are definitely a few things to talk about, particularly the paint and the cape, and then a couple other things. So let's go ahead and get this guy off the stand and take a closer look. This guy stands just about, for those of you who haven't seen it, 22 to the top of the head, and if you want to count the spiky thing, closer to 24.5 centimeters, and that's going to make him pretty close to, let's say, 8 3/4, and then 9 3/4, give or take, a little bit rough there, but that's to the top of this and then the top of right here for the two different measurements. So as I said, this is basically the same version as before, so we're going to do a real quick question of the day. Which version of NECA's Super Shredders do you prefer? For me, it was the dark one. I like the dark one a whole lot. I like this one a whole lot too. I kind of want to take the parts off and recombine them to take this with the silver gauntlets. I think this particular purple look is really sharp, but I don't know. Either way, let me know which one you like the most. I think I'm going to go for the Shadow Master version if I had to pick. But this one is a very purple version. He's got purple spikes, purple blades, purple belt, purple everything, basically. And that's okay. That's what it's supposed to look like. So as far as differences go, I'm not going to run through the articulation and go through, like, give everything a rating. I just wanted to give you guys a quick overview. So what I'm going to do is I'll show you all three of them side by side, the original release, the Shadow Master, and then the new one. And you can see the differences for yourself at first glance. As far as accessories go, I'll tell you that real quick just to get out of the way. We do still get the two fist hands, the two gripping hands, an extra gripping hand for the Ooze, and then two wide open hands, very nicely done. We get the Ooze canister and the pole arm. Nothing extraordinary here, it's pretty much what you would expect. Now, as far as the main differences go, we do have this belt with the spikes and the shuriken on the front, which is definitely a 90s vibe, but it's very sharp looking, and they're kind of pointy, but they're softer, so that's okay. And then we get this glorious beetle shell like cape where it's green at some angles, very green, and then it's very red. I don't know how well that's going to show up on camera, the different look, but it is amazingly cool. I love this. Like, I don't know what purpose it's going to really serve on a shelf. I'm not blaming NECA, I'm just saying, like, I'm not going to get to see that most of the time because it's only black on the inside, but it is super cool. I love it. Very, very nicely done. Now, as far as the paint goes on here, it does appear to be black, like a very dark indigo-ish, bluish purple, and then a more reddish purple, various layers of dry brushing with the black underneath, and it looks very nice. A lot of depth to it, so that accentuates that really exaggerated sculpt from the original Super Shredder suit, so that's cool. We do have the silver bits here and there. There's silver along the helmet. Obviously, we have the black and silver for the helmet that we've seen before, so that makes sense. That looks good. You still see the eyes in there that are... Actually, these are pretty nice eyes. The eyes have been some contention for some people. I don't have too much of a problem with them, but they are nicely done on this one. Helmet looks just as good as ever, but we do have the purple for the main armor rather than the steel or silver color, which is definitely a unique look. I'm sure some people are going to love it and some people aren't, but that's what you have here. And that's about it. That's it. That's all I really need to cover for this review, since we have looked at this figure before. The articulation, if anything, seems better. I haven't noticed any actual differences in the design, but I haven't had any stuck joints. The torso moves freely, the arms all moved freely. I haven't had any issue posing this guy at all. So that's a really good thing. And this is still one of the most photogenic figures. The way the sculpt is, the way they do the paint jobs, this has... Ever since they released the first one, has been one of my favorite releases, maybe of all time. And they just continue to make different versions of it, which are obviously getting better and better, or at least different and differenter, depending on how you feel about the particular color schemes and whatever. But they nailed the cape. This looks super cool. And like I said, the articulation is creamy on this guy. So that's it. There's nothing else to say. I mean, obviously articulation is going to vary from figure to figure, so maybe you'll get a tight one, maybe. Or maybe they fix tolerances or just lube the joints. I don't know. But this one, for me, is extra buttery smooth. So, like in a good way, not a bad way. So, very, very nice. well worthy of being added to the collection. Even if you already have the other two, I think you should probably try to track one of these down. It's a very, very cool figure. So there it is, guys. Let me know what you thought about the review. Let me know what you thought about the figure. Give the video a thumbs up if you liked it. Give it a thumbs down if you didn't. And if you haven't subscribed, you might want to. I have new videos almost every single day and thousands already on the channel. So make sure you come back for all of that. And in the meantime, keep collecting.